Hello students, today I am going to derive the theory of damped vibration. So last class we have seen what is vibrations and what is the damped vibration, what is the sustained oscillations, etc. And also we have seen what is the complex number and how to solve the complex number using the second order differential equation. So these are the things which will be utilized to derive the theory of damped vibration. By considering all those in mind, we will try to derive what is the general solution for damped oscillations or damped vibrations. Let us consider a system. Of mass m, which is attached to the spring of spring constant K to the fixed rigid support. Okay, what is the spring constant here? K. Right? So this entire setup is with friction. Okay, it is not frictionless surface, it is with a friction. So I am going to apply the force F. So what is the force here? Mass into acceleration. So when I apply the force, the object tries to get displaced from its equilibrium position, reaches the new point, that is a maximum displacement, reaches at this point with the maximum displacement x is equal to x naught. Okay, x is equal to x naught. So this is the equilibrium position. This is the maximum displacement. The displacement of the object is notated with the symbol x. So when the object is at the maximum displacement x is equal to x naught, the velocity of the object v is equal to 0. Right? So then suppose let us say my oscillating system I am going to count from this point. So when I release the mass, so it will try to go to the equilibrium position and the spring gets shrinks. Again it comes to this maximum displacement, again it springs like this. So like this the oscillation happens. So at this point t is equal to 0. So these are the parameters you should remember when we do the derivation. So at the maximum displacement, velocity is equal to 0, t is equal to 0 because we are going to count the oscillation from this point. So t is equal to 0. So what are all the forces which is acting on the system? The applied force here, F. What are the forces which is acting on the system? Applied force. Then the resistive force. Then restoring force. So these are the three forces which is acting on the system. So applied force, resistive force and restoring force. So what is the applied force here? This one. So applied force must be equal to the sum of resistive force and restoring force. The applied force is equal to the sum of resistive force and restoring force. By keeping these in mind, let us write the equation for what is the resistive force and what is restoring force. Restoring force is nothing but Hooke's law. So I am going to write the restoring force equation, resistive force equation. I am going to make it equivalent to the applied force. So restoring force is equal to minus r dx by dt. Then restoring force is equal to minus kx. So equate these two forces. The applied force is equal to F is equal to ma. So m into d square x by dt square is equal to minus r dx by dt into minus kx. So I want to write this in terms of second order differential equation. So bring these two values to the right hand side. So m into d square x by dt square is equal to plus r dx by dt plus kx. So to have the coefficient of d square by dt is equal to 1, I am going to divide this equation by m. So d square x by dt square plus r by m into dx by dt plus k by m into x. So this entire equation is divided by m. Okay. So once we got it, I am going to replace the coefficient of dx by dt and coefficient of x with the value omega square is equal to k by m and r by m is equal to 2b. So substituting these two values in this second order differential equation, that is equation number 2, I will be getting d square x by dt square plus 2b dx by dt plus omega square x is equal to 0. So the general solution of second order differential equation is x is equal to a e power alpha t, where alpha and a are the constants. So we have to determine what is alpha by considering the solutions. So dx by dt I am going to differentiate it. So dx by dt is equal to a e power alpha t into alpha. So e power alpha t will become e power alpha t into alpha. So again when we differentiate it, we will be getting d square x by dt square is equal to a e power alpha t into alpha, and one more alpha will be there. So alpha square we will get. So a alpha square e power alpha t. So substituting the value of d square x by dt square dx by dt in this equation, okay, so you will be getting a alpha square e power alpha t plus 2b a e power alpha t into alpha plus omega square a e power alpha t. Second, you take the constant terms outside. So a e power alpha t will be taken constant outside, or common term, sorry, it is not a constant, it is common term. So a e power alpha t, you take it as a common. So alpha square plus 2b alpha plus omega square. So what is a e power alpha t? This is nothing but x. So x into alpha square plus 2b alpha plus omega square is equal to 0. The x cannot be 0. Why? The x is nothing but the displacement of the oscillating system. If x value becomes 0, then the body is not at all oscillating. So x cannot be 0. Only the value is alpha square plus 2b alpha plus omega square can be 0. So this is a quadratic equation. So this can be solved by using the formula minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. So substituting the value of a, b, c from this quadratic equation. So when you substitute, you will be getting two equations, minus b plus square root of b square minus omega square and minus b minus square root of b square minus omega square. So substitute these two solutions in the general equations of the second order differential equation. That is, last class itself we have seen what is the general solution for the second order differential equation. So x is equal to c e power alpha t plus d e power alpha t. So when we substitute the value of alpha and minus alpha, these are two solutions of this equation. One is plus alpha, another one is minus alpha. So substitute those two values here. So you will be getting x is equal to e power minus b plus square root of b square minus omega square into t plus d into e power minus b minus square root of b square minus omega square into t. So the unknown parameter c and d we have to determine by applying the conditions. So what are the conditions we have to apply now? So as I at the starting point I have said, at the point of maximum displacement, x is equal to x naught, t is equal to 0. So by applying these two conditions here, when we apply t is equal to 0, e power minus b plus square root of b square minus omega square into t will become 1. So x naught is equal to c plus d. Then next condition, the velocities also become 0 at x is equal to x naught. So when you differentiate this equation with respect to t, you will be getting this value dx by dt is equal to minus b, etc. So I am going to apply at t is equal to 0 at dx by dt is equal to 0. When we apply this condition, the left hand side becomes 0. In the right hand side, once again, exponential term will become 1. So you will be getting 0 is equal to minus b plus square root of b square minus omega square into c plus minus b minus square root of b square minus omega square into d. So multiply these two values, these two and these two. Similarly, this and this. When you multiply, you will be getting 4 terms. So minus b you take it at common, c plus d you will get, and square root of b square minus omega square, if you take it common, you will be getting c minus d. So what is c plus d? X naught, already we got it from the earlier session. So from here we got it, the x naught is equal to c plus d. So substitute here minus b x naught plus square root of b square minus omega square into c minus d. So at last you will get what is the value of c minus d. So by taking the c plus d and c minus d values, adding those two equations, if you add those two equations, c plus d, that is equation number 8 and 9, so you will be getting 2c. So c we can get x naught by 2 into 1 plus b by square root of b square minus omega square. Then if you subtract equation 9 from 8, you will be getting d value. So substitute all these c and d value in the general solution. So you will be getting the final solution for the particle which is in the damped oscillation. So x is equal to x naught by 2 into 1 plus b by square root of b square minus omega square into e power minus b plus square root of b square minus omega square into t plus 1 minus b by square root of b square minus omega square into e power minus b minus square root of b square minus omega square into t. So next video we will see what are the 3 different conditions under which the oscillating system should have the damped oscillation, or so 3 different conditions. Those things we will see in the next slide. Thank you.